We're opening the doors to our signature program again this week, the Photographers Collective, and that is a founding member launch. So we're just going to be taking in 20 students to work really closely with Stam and I to make some serious progress with their photography career and with their business. We're going to be working on some growth strategies, marketing strategies that we implement ourselves in our own business that work really well at introducing our brand to clients. So we'll talk about a little bit about that tonight. And some creative stuff as well, and portfolio building exercises that we'll be working closely with. So that's why it's a limited group, because we want to be able to work closely with the founding members to make sure they get the results they want in their business. So I'm going to put in the comments before we get started. I'm going to put in the comments for you guys the link to the wait list page. The doors aren't open yet. They'll be opening on Tuesday, but you can get some more information here. And if you sign up to be on the wait list, you will get our 5-step roadmaps, a proven roadmap for growing a 6-figure photography business. It's exactly the path we've walked ourselves. So do check it out if you're looking to level up your photography business or make some progress with where you are at the moment. Just give me a second. Try and find you guys again. Okay. I don't have Stam helping me here tonight, so you just have to bear with me a moment. Let's see if I can get this posted in the comments. Okay, here you go, guys. So yeah, there you go. There's the link to our membership program. Take a look at that and let us know what you think of it. And let's get on with tonight's show, what we're going to be going through. I'm just going to share my screen. And okay. Okay, I think we're good. Just let me check that it pops up on Facebook. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can see it up on Facebook. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's play this from the start. Okay, guys, just a little introduction then. So tonight's Facebook Live, I want to talk to you about 5 reasons that all photographers, doesn't matter what niche you're in, should be creating valuable content in 2020. I love beautiful images, and having a strong portfolio is extremely important. There's no point putting valuable content out there and introducing your brand if you don't have a good product to back it up. So this, you know, the two things need to be balanced and go together. And creative development is, you know, it's one of the pillars of what we teach in our program. It's so important. However, just having pretty pictures and beautiful images is just not enough in 2020. When we started our business nearly 10 years ago now, you could get away with just having pretty pictures and a website and doing the occasional blog of a wedding that you've shot. But if you want a steady stream of inquiries and people to actually learn about your business and take notice of your business with so much distraction online, we need to be doing a little bit more than that. So I'm just going to talk you through how we approach it. It's not necessarily the only way to do content marketing, but this is areas that we've identified that have worked when we've actually implemented them. We continue to implement today. You can head over to our blog and have a look at our blog. We do still blog our clients' weddings as well, because that's great for future couples to look at, and it's really nice for our couples to share with their friends and family. So we love doing that part. But we also want to create valuable content, even if people don't book us. It's not so much about booking us, it's about, you know, creating information for our niche. So for us, that's mostly weddings that we're aiming this at. and creating that content so that people can have an easier time planning their wedding, can have a really smooth wedding day, because they've thought about all of these things that we've got 10 years experiences of weddings. Most couples are at their first wedding, so we've got so much experience to share, and just selling or introducing our photography is only a small part of that. So yeah, so the first reason that it's really important to do this is builds credibility in your brand. If you're adding value upfront and you're creating content that solves problems for brides or for people wanting to get family photos done, we'll give you some examples later, or pet photography. Stam's about to launch a fine art pet photography business called stamchana.com. Going to be very beautiful, but she'll be creating guides on how to take better photos of your pets with your iPhone. Now, might seem counterintuitive because she's a photographer, but it's a reason for people to get interested in her brand. It means she's willing to give something away without any expectations of people booking her or inquiring with her. But it just means that her name gets out there as a credible source of information for all things pets and photography. So it's a really great idea for her to be doing that. So builds credibility with your niche, with your specialist area to start with. The other thing is, we don't just talk about photography when we are writing content-driven wedding blogs or content on social media. So we write a lot of stuff on social media now, either aimed at photographers like you guys, or and trying to give little tips and tricks, or tips and tricks for brides and couples that are getting married. Maybe the best time of the wedding day to do their couples photos, or what to think about in the morning. If it's a picture of the groom getting ready in the morning, maybe a couple of tips or tricks for that. These are reasons for people to follow our Instagram feed beyond just looking at our photos. So being the expert in your niche is a great way to warm up your audience. And again, it might not lead to a sale, and people know if you're just trying to sell them stuff underneath. That I think the attitude of this, for it to work, content marketing needs to be service driven. So having the mindset that you're creating this stuff because the information that you have, the experience you have, is going to genuinely help people in your niche or the area that you photograph in, and the wider things that they're doing within that niche. So wedding photography, we wrote a blog a little bit of time ago with our top 10 favorite wedding venues in London, and we did one on five things you need to think about before booking a destination wedding, because we do a lot of destination weddings. These, I mean, they get great engagement. These, we did one as well, I think actually gets more traffic than our homepage. We did one on our 5 favorite wedding venues in Thailand. There isn't actually that many really high-end wedding venues in Thailand, but we wrote about our 5 favorites, and that gets it gets a lot of traffic every month, people that are looking for destination weddings in this part of the world. Yeah, the other thing just to go on top of that is it just builds confidence in your brand. If you're willing to add value, you're seen as an expert in your industry, you're credible because you have information and experience that you can share with people. It makes people feel comfortable in the actual service that you offer, for sure. If you know a lot about your niche and are seen as an authority in that niche, it's going to build confidence in your brand. And this is not like some backdoor sales tactic. It's just a nice way in this information age where anyone can put anything on the internet and say pretty much anything about their business. People need to feel, people are pretty savvy these days, and I certainly am when I go looking or researching new products. It does give me a sense of confidence when I get information from a brand that's not necessarily trying to sell me anything. They do actually have an underlying service or product that could be useful for me, and it works really well. A good example is Ad Espresso that I use for Facebook advertising to build my Facebook ads. It's just a simpler platform than the Ads Manager, and they just have a great blog with incredible content on there that helps you get, set up with some of the technical aspects. It was only after I'd read that for maybe a year that I actually realized what product they sold, and went and looked on their website. Already knew the name by that point, and I was happy to invest in it pretty much straight away. But if I'd just done my first Google search and all I had was the products, I'm going to feel a lot less confident about investing in something like that. And that works the same for photography. If you're front of mind with people because you're creating content that's valuable and you're building confidence, you're going to be front of mind when they do want to book a photographer. The other reason being as well, when people do browse social media feeds or your website or blogs, most of the time they're not ready to sell. They're not ready to sell anything. They're not ready to buy anything. So to catch someone the exact moment they're actually ready to purchase a wedding photographer or a pet photographer is actually incredibly unlikely if you understand the customer journey. Most people browse for months or years before they actually invest in something like photography. Even for wedding photography, people take months, even though they're in a limited time period before the wedding day. So if you're trying to just catch that business of the day that they're looking is the day they're actually willing to book a consultation and pay for a service, you're not going to get enough bookings to survive in my experience. So this needs to come first. Yeah, I do. I hate being sold to on social media unless it's something that I'm actually interested in and I have a need for. So I've invested in online courses. I've invested in software that I've already been researching, and I've seen follow-up content offered to me on Facebook and things like that. Absolutely fine. I really enjoy that because I already have a relationship with that business. But if you are putting promotional ads out there on Facebook or Instagram to groups of people that have never heard of your brand, you will, in my experience, never get a sale from those ads. And I mean, you could spend thousands of dollars on it and you won't, maybe not even get one inquiry, because it's just not how it works. People are not on social media to buy stuff. They're on social media. It's a discovery platform. So they're there to find inspiration. They're there to share cool things that they find with their friends and to socialize. That's what it is, a social platform. So unless you already have a relationship with people and you then offer something to those groups of people through social media that is a paid offer, it just simply won't work. So if most people just ignore it, if you're unlucky, then they'll mark it as spam, and then your ad costs will go up. So yeah, just think about how you react to it. If you just see a random ad targeted at you from a photographer you've never heard of before saying, book me for a portrait shoot, or book me for your wedding, I'm doing 50% off this month, or I'm doing free portrait shoot, you just have to buy the print, seems like a good offer, you still won't get any bookings by doing that on social media. It's just not how marketing on social media works. You need to build relationship first with all the other stuff I've just mentioned, and then make an offer to people that have show an intention to interact with your brand. Then their natural next step for them is to want to invest in your services, and that's absolutely fine. So just think carefully about that before you boost posts or put too much promotional content out there, because you will be wasting your money if it's done in that way. Okay, so yeah, and a great reason for blogging or creating guides or checklists that people need to leave their information for is it gives people a reason to revisit your site or bookmark your site, or even better, to leave their information. So we run some content-driven engagement ads on Facebook, and they will just be our blog posts that add loads of value. How to find a wedding venue in London, what questions to ask your wedding planner, 8 tips to hiring your best photographer, all of these kind of things. And we're just simply using the cheapest way to advertise by just getting engagement on those posts, and that warms our brand up to people. But then any one of those people that visits our website, they then have the offer or opportunity, if they want it, to download our wedding planning guide. And to get that, and it's a really amazing resource and 46-page, very beautifully designed guide. So it's quite a valuable piece of content. We give it away for free, but if you want to have that guide from us, you need to leave, there's a little bit of a transaction where you need to leave your information and be happy to kind of be in contact with us a little bit more directly than just viewing our content online. And I can see from the last year of wedding bookings that every single couple that booked us at some point in the previous 6 months had downloaded our wedding planning guide. And then when they were ready then they were then in our email list. So we send occasional emails, not promotional at all, just giving tips and advice on getting married, or latest news we've heard, or a new bridal boutiques opened up in central London, or something like that in our emails. And every single one of our bookings had already downloaded our wedding planning guide by the time we spoke to them and got them on the phone. So that's proof for you that having a system set up and in place like this works to warm people up to your brand. It adds huge amount of value and credibility, and by the time people have actually picked up the phone and speak to you, they're already delighted with you because you've given them loads of valuable stuff to get the results or the answers they need to their questions. Just gonna have a quick look, see if any.
Gonna put in the comments
bear with me
now,
a second.
guys. So we've got a really exciting bit of news this week. We were launching opening the doors to.
Okay, guys. So yes, I love this quote. Just getting back to this, I'm going to finish off for you. So just a couple of more minutes. So trying to sell to people who do not know who you are is like asking someone to marry you on the first date. Such a great quote. This. I'm not sure who it's from originally, but it's genius, and it's really true. It simply doesn't work, and it is as intense and abrupt as doing this. What it says on the screen here. I've heard in other areas, although it would be true for photography as well, but I know, for example, with some luxury hotel groups we've worked with, that they've tried to do direct sales ads on Facebook and Instagram to cold audiences that didn't know who they were, even though they're very, very nice luxury hotels, and spent thousands, tens of thousands of US dollars on ads targeted at what they thought was the right demographics, didn't make one booking for their hotels. And it's because of this. They're trying to sell to people that don't know who they are. Social media is not a place people are looking to be sold to. So it just simply does not work. So please, if you just take one thing away from tonight, take this away. You won't get any bookings or inquiries if you do direct sales ads to cold audiences. They either need to be on your email list, or they need to have interacted with your brand already on Facebook, and you're retargeting them with one of your special offers, which that does work and is effective, but it needs to be set up properly to get those results. Yeah, the answer will always be no every single time. And just think, if you went on a first date and someone to ask you to marry them straight away, the answer is going to be no, isn't it? Well, I'd hope it would be anyway. So, okay, content marketing ideas. So just to actually give you some stuff you can implement. If you've got a blog, this is an easy way to start. Facebook ads, actual advertising on Facebook and getting results from it is something we teach inside of our program, but it's too big a subject to deliver over a Facebook Live. However, content marketing ideas, you can implement this stuff today. And these are just some of the things that we've done before, which have got us lots of traffic to our website, lots of inquiries. Many of our couples have mentioned that they've read some of this stuff before contacting us. So this stuff works. So being the expert, some examples you could use. How to get the wedding photos that you want. 5 ways to feel natural when having professional portraits taken. How to choose your photographer. Top 10 wedding venues in London. We've written that one. We've also written one for Thailand and for Greece as well, because we work quite regularly in all 3 of those places. How to plan a stress-free wedding. Which bride doesn't want to plan a stress-free wedding? And a lot of brides don't think about some really stuff that seems obvious to us, but isn't obvious if you're not at weddings all the time. So how to plan a stress-free wedding is one of our most popular blogs. It gets and has had a lot of engagement and traffic over the last couple of years since we wrote it. And how to plan the perfect engagement session is a little bit more self-promotional, that one, because it's to do with photography that we offer, but it still adds value and people still engage and enjoy that. We also got a special section in our wedding planning guide about this, because it explains to people why they're so valuable, not just to get beautiful photos, but it helps couples that aren't used to being photographed to get comfortable in front of the camera. And so it's a great add-on to invest in before your wedding day. And again, that is not me being salesy. That is a genuine reason to do an engagement shoot, because a lot of people are nervous, but as soon as they've worked with us and done a couple session with us, they feel 100% relaxed on the wedding day, and it just takes away one of those extra pieces of stress that they might have. So yeah. Okay, content marketing ideas. You can add value within your niche. Best wedding venues in London. I mentioned that one on the slide above. 7 ways to plan a stress-free wedding, also above. Top bridal boutiques in your area is a really good blog post, because people that are looking for dresses, that stage of the journey towards a wedding, they haven't normally booked a photographer at that point. So, or they normally happen around the same time, perhaps. So that's a good thing to be getting engagement on. What to look for in a wedding planner and what questions to ask your wedding planner, so that you know they're going to have everything covered for you on the day. That we've got a similar type blog post now, and that also has been very helpful for people, because a lot of people aren't sure what value they add, and maybe I'll do it myself. And we've actually tried to explain it. If you find a good wedding planner, they'll take away so much stress for you on the day, and so many things that you just don't want to have to think about on your wedding day. So that can be very useful as well. How to choose a destination wedding venue is another popular one that we've done, but you can think of your own for your own niche. You can adapt all of this stuff for pet photography, family photography, anything you want. Adding value outside your niche. I mean, for us, we could write a piece about how to capture authentic moments of your family, how to take better photos with your iPhone. That's a great one to have as either a guide or a blog post. And yeah, even stuff like, what camera should I buy in 2020, or what camera should I buy for my daughter at Christmas, or anything like that, for what's the best travel camera for this year. You can even write blog posts like that if you have the time to do it, because it will get traffic to your site and build your brand to a much wider audience than just people that are engaged and planning their wedding. So yeah, next steps. Just want to tell you one more time about the Photographers Collective. I know there is a lot of you already on the waiting list for that, so excited to have you on there. A lot of our Facebook group members have signed up for that, and when you do join the wait list for that, you're going to get a few emails from us, which will just explain to you exactly what we'll be teaching in this monthly membership program. But essentially, we are going to be laying down for you our 5-step proven roadmap to growing a 6-figure photography business. You're going to get intimate group coaching if you're one of the 20 founding members, to implement some of the proven strategies that have grown our business. Help you create the wow factor and make your portfolio really stand out. We have a couple of creative challenges and video lessons that we're going to be sharing with you guys, so you can really up-level your portfolio. We're going to help you get your first 50 inquiries with online marketing strategies that we use with our step-by-step system, and help you with it's a done for you 365-day social media calendar specifically designed for photographers to take the guesswork out of social. That was one of the most stressful things for us when we started using social media. We just had no idea what to post or how to get engagement or inquiries from it. So we have some really good content there to help you get that stuff moving. If you've got any questions, you can join our Facebook group, or send us a direct message over Facebook or Instagram. We would love to hear from you guys. And yes, just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us again. I think this is our 5th or 6th Facebook Live that we've done in the last few weeks. So excited to share some of this stuff that's worked for us. Just see quickly if there was any questions before I go. Let's have a look. I can't actually access it now, guys. So I think we'll leave you guys to have a lovely weekend. So let me check one more time. Yeah, okay, I'll check the comments afterwards anyway. I can still do that in there when it's on replay mode. So have a fantastic weekend, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you've got any questions about this or any comments, we'd love to hear from you and speak to you soon. That's it from us for today. Take care. Bye-bye.